taxes are almost never popular, and that includes the mass transit payroll tax.
And we just keep paying and paying and paying.
Under the tax, businesses in 12 counties surrounding New York City are forced to pay 34 cents for every $100 earned.
This is just another nail in the coffin of small business.
So it's an unfair, destructive tax, which we think is unconstitutional, and it's also very bad for our local businesses, small businesses, our local nonprofits, our schools, county government. We pay over $1.5 million in this tax.
When it comes to the MTA payroll tax, almost no one has a kind word to say about this.
My name is Bill Schoolman. I'm a business owner in Suffolk County, and I am an angry taxpayer. Tax Relief Now is an organization that I founded that's dedicated to educating the public and possibly taking legal action when appropriate when New York State taxpayers are being abused. And that's the case right now today with the MTA payroll tax. I just woke up one day and I became Howard Beale. I became that guy. I'm just sick and tired. I'm not going to take it anymore. You know, it's not the worst tax I've ever had to pay. It's not the biggest tax, but it's an absurd tax where the money is used to subsidize probably the most fiscal, irresponsible organization in the United States. And a bunch of people in our industry went to Albany to lobby against the tax. And we met with the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. He looked at us with total disdain and we said, "Why do we have to pay this tax? What's it for?" He just looked at us and said, "Well, somebody has to pay for it." I found that there were tons of other people equally concerned.
My name is Pete Krackevanner.
My name is Barbara Samuels.
David Emrani. I own a small company in Long Island.
My name is Karen Pope.
Jack Holker. I'm a builder, and I've been a citizen of Long Island for 45 years.
I'm Frank McKay. I'm the state chair of the Independence Party.
My name's Charles Tremontana. I'm a small business owner in Suffolk County.
I'm Joe Campolo.
Well, I'm State Senator Lee Zeldin. I represent the 3rd Senate District located in Suffolk County, New York.
The MTA tax is like a leech.
Another hand in the pocket of these mom and pop businesses.
You know, when this tax came out, I actually notified all my employees because we try to do performance bonuses, end of year, holiday bonuses and such. This was going to impact that.
$1.8 billion is taken directly out of the Long Island economy.
Taken right out of their churches, right out of their local libraries. Terribly unfair. That money needs to be better spent in the communities.
The bridges of New York have been paid for many, many years, and we keep paying it.
I found out about the MTA tax through Senator Zeldin.
If I was in office in May of 2009, I would have voted against it, and they wouldn't have had 32 votes.
It became the single biggest issue in the previous election. Subsequent to Election Day, we haven't heard a word.
There's no question that they should do away with the MTA tax.
When people feel that they have an ally in the fight, they're more willing to come on board.
I see it from the mom and pop businesses. They need that tax relief.
You just wake up one day and you say, I got to do something. In the summer of 2009, I went to our attorney, Mr. Joe Campolo, and I said, Joe, can you do the research? Can you check this out?
The Constitution requires that a 2/3 vote of both houses be passed in order to impose this type of tax. It didn't happen.
The MTA tax itself is unconstitutional.
Just once in New York, you'd like to see the Constitution stand for something.
So we raised the issue. We raised it in the form of a lawsuit.
Since we started the lawsuit, 10 municipalities plus 1 school district copied our lawsuit word for word. Didn't even miss a comma.
What people have to understand is, and why Bill Schoolman is one of my heroes, he funded this lawsuit on his own. He did it on behalf of all taxpayers. He doesn't get any better benefit than any other taxpayer here in the state of New York. So everybody needs to support us in order to win.
What's happened so far is that a judge made a ruling to transfer this lawsuit out of Suffolk County to Albany, where nobody pays the tax. So what kind of jury of our peers could we possibly get in Albany County?
Judges don't want to get involved in these messy types of actions.
The politicians, they want political fanfare out of this. We want results. I refer to the MTA as bloating, the $57 billion octopus that has no brain. They grab everything in sight. They're involved in every business they shouldn't be involved in. The fiscal irresponsibility of the MTA is so well documented.
It's a black hole. You might as well just kind of flush it right down the toilet, because that's the way they spend it.
Last year, they cut service to the Long Island Railroad. When they made all the cuts, raised all the fares, they were sitting with $3.7 billion of cash in investments, quote, not needed for operations.
I cannot believe when I heard this. A top mechanic makes about $250,000 a year with $110,000 in pension when he retires. I have several degrees and over 40 years of experience in business, and I make $90,000 a year. This is sick.
In the middle of the recession on January 1st, 2010, the MTA had 444 people employed in public relations and marketing. Amtrak has 16.
We know how to spend our money much better than the MTA knows how to waste it.
The MTA built an employee lounge costing $20 million at Grand Central Station. When people complained, the MTA's response was, don't complain. 18 million out of the 20 million's coming from federal stimulus money. Who pays for that?
I don't think anybody in the public truly knows how they operate.
They have 64 Century dogs. Not to be outdone, they bought property for $1 million, and they are now completing this doghouse building for an additional $6 million. We call it the $7 million doghouse.
Over $400 million a year spent by the MTA on overtime costs.
Their world headquarters, the building was supposed to cost $140 million. It ended up costing $845 million. 5 people went to jail.
The MTA problem cannot stand the light of day.
If I had the power to change the MTA right now today, it would be very simple. I would liquidate every single non-transportation related asset, which would probably free up close to $40 billion in cash.
Most of the functions of the MTA should be privatized.
If we can't win this battle with the MTA payroll tax, then probably there's no hope at all. That's why this is such a critical struggle.
I came to realize that there really was no other choice but to get involved.
I'm in the same boat as you. What can I do to help?
We have fundraisers. We have volunteer work that can be done.
It's going to be the business people that get the business community on the right track. It's not going to be the politician.
And I'm going to join them against this fight.
People seem to really understand what the problem is, and they just need a little direction, and I think Bill has provided that for us.
This is a taxpayer movement, not a political movement. We're nonpartisan, and I am not running for office.
It's wonderful that we have a group like Tax Relief Now to help these small business owners.
Enough is enough. We have to change the way the government's doing business because it's going to put us out of business.
Come on board, help us out.
If we have to take this legal battle all the way to the Supreme Court, we're going to do it.
Jefferson, Washington, Adams, they all started this country, and the mantra was no taxation without representation. And somewhere between there and here, things have gotten terribly out of whack.
The support and the dialogue between us and Tax Relief Now has been a huge help.
We need to repeal the tax, the MTA tax. There's no question about it.
It will be repealed one way or the other.
And folks like Bill Schoolman are on the right track.
We're fighting this for everyone else. This is not for my personal benefit. This is to make this a better world. It sounds corny, but that's what this is about.
There is a better way than the MTA.